Assalamu alaikum everyone. I hope you're doing really well. My name is HUMNA and I share content on this channel connected to art, healing and spirituality. These are the three things that have helped me and shifted my life completely, and that is what I hope to leave behind through my work, through my thoughts, through my insights, and whatever it is that I do with people, just to inspire them, to make them be reminded of the power that we have as creators in this world when we connect to our creativity in remembrance of who has given us the power of being able to create. We are automatically diving into the source of creativity. Now, if you are a Muslim, you would know that he is called Ya Khalik, Ya Musawwir, and Ya Bari. And these are the things, he's the initiator of all that exists, right? And then he is the one who creates original artworks, meaning you and me and all that exists in the universe. And then he is the one who is, I can't remember the third one, but anyway, you get the idea. Oh, he paints, he creates, Musawwir, the one who brings the manifestation from the unseen to the seen. And when we create, that's exactly what we are doing. We are creating from our heart, connected to the creator. And what this does is it makes us do our ibadat in a very beautiful way as we create what we are creating. And I'm sorry if I use the word creation way too many times, because this has been like part of my spiritual journey to connect, to truly understand what the word creator, creating, creative means. And if it is connected to just dunya, if your inspiration is just dunya, that what is seen, then you'll only be connecting to everything that is already seen. So connecting to the unseen, meaning something that doesn't exist, and bringing it into reality, is a journey that a soul takes, and it's so incredibly cool. So if that's something that you resonate with and you'd like to connect to your creative powers that Allah's gifted you with, you're most welcome to join me on my weekly sessions every Friday, 11 a.m. UK time through Zoom. I'd love to welcome you there. And if you feel like, I'm sorry, I've got a sore throat going on right now, so I keep going. But the other thing that I would love to invite you is to my Ramzan sessions, which is going to happen on Tuesdays, Wednesdays, and Thursdays. It's 10:30 to 1:30 only, where we connect and we work on certain grids that you download from my Patreon, and you can start working with me. Now, why is it so important to have a grid? Right? What does this grid represent? One of the most beautiful things about grid is it gives you a space where things are laid out in front of you. So your mind, meaning your masculine energy, gets activated when you create the grid, because it's using numbers, it's using tools, it's activating that logical, practical side of you. And what it does is it helps you see it getting built, as I'm going to do right now. So excuse me. I'm going to use my protractor, and this is something how I teach people to connect to their creativity using your masculine and your feminine energy. And today I wanted to see if I can actually do a more candid and let the session just be flowing as to whatever it is that gets created within us. That's what my normal statement is. Don't think of that what is being created, think of that what is being created within you. So don't focus on the artwork, focus on that which is happening inside you when you are creating. And that is the key to connecting to your creativity with source, getting it from your creator, from your Allah. Right now I'm just marking these points. Now, having done Islamic art, done workshops and things, I'm not a pro at it, but what I've learned is I'm not perfect, and so I don't even want to or try to be. But a lot of people who do geometry or do Islamic art have a very different way of looking at it. Mine is more Subtle, soft, gentle. I use it, yes, I do, but I use it as a way to express softness, because you see, lots of people have this idea the masculine energy is very harsh and like they have to do. I think the masculine energy is very loving. It's very soft. And so when you think about the way you create, um, if you can keep your pencil, not like drag it, be conscious of the way it's moving on the sheet of paper, be gentle with it. Don't try to like be too controlling about what you're doing, but you just be human, just be gentle, just be kind with the process of creation, because that's your masculine energy. So I've definitely made a mistake here. Did not align this line properly. One of the things that I love is my I lost my center, right? See how I lost my center? And that is a sign from Allah, because nothing really happens without His will. And so I've kind of lost myself here. So I'm not going to get too worried. I remind myself, keep going, Hamna. You will make mistakes, for you are human. I'm just going to continue. And this is a grid I created for Surah Baqarah, ayat number 30, a session that is available on my Patreon. You can go check it out. It is based on the understanding of Hazrat Adam alayhi salam's creation and how Allah speaks to us through that ayat and reminds us of our own creation, of our own selves. Where did the journey begin and start? And this particular one is from session number 2, because it's a long ayat, so it's and it's got so much in it that I've broken it into parts, so you can check it out if you'd like to create the grid with me through that session. It's a very beautiful healing session and truly shifted my energy into understanding of the sin, and the after effects of it, and how the creation sees us humans, Hazrat Adam alayhi salam, because the conversation that happens in the ayat is between Allah and His loving angels, and how they show their concern towards what we as humans will be doing on this planet. And so Allah speaks to us and tells us that incident so that we're able to understand how close His creation is to Him and how open they are. They have constant conversation with Allah. So when I made a mistake, subhanallah, you know what guys, I just realized the whole ayat is actually based on the mistakes that we've made, and we constantly are guided by shaitan, sadly, to keep focusing on the mistake and not on that what we need to focus on. I shared this on my Instagram. Sorry, I zone out. On my Instagram recently, that we've been focusing on the sins that we commit, and that's what Shaitan wants us to do. Oh my God, you made a mistake. I'm not here. You can't go forward. And so you have to actually say to yourself, hang on, okay, I understand I've made a mistake. Let me just sit with it and keep moving forward towards my forgiveness, towards my Allah, and let Allah guide me to come back to my mistake and see why I did it. So rather than working on, oh my God, I've done this, why can't I work with, I've done this, I accept it, I made a mistake. And that's what Hazrat Adam did, right? He acknowledged the mistake, he understood what he's done wrong, Hazrat Adam alayhi salam, sorry, and baby Hawa. And once they understood the intention behind their mistake, for their intention, the reason they did it because they felt they're going to be away from Allah when they go into the dunya. And so when they made that mistake, they didn't judge themselves based on that mistake. They didn't say, oh my God, that's what I've become. My mistake is all I am. No, you're not your mistake. The mistake was a way to teach you, to remind you that you are capable of making mistakes, but the one who is not is your Allah, right? So you gain clarity into what Allah is trying to tell you through your mistakes rather than holding on to your mistake as your fault. You look at it as a gift from Allah that thanks to that mistake, I was able to learn the lesson that Allah wanted to teach me. And you don't go down the path of feeling unworthy in yourself, because that's the path Shaitan wants you to go, right? He wants you to feel unworthy. He wants you to feel that what he feels. So you have to ask yourself, hang on, what does Allah want me to feel here? Does Allah want me to feel like, unworthy? No, not at all. He calls you the representative. You are the Khalifa of Allah. You are here to spread love, light, and peace into this world. You did not come here to revolve in your sin. So when you look at this piece, it was the piece when I started was I taught how to create a spiral, and you create the spiral representing the sin itself, for that's what it makes you do, right? Your focus is constantly on what wrong did I do, whereas Allah is telling you, don't look at what you did wrong, look at why you could have done that wrong, and look at the repentance that you can ask from me, for I am Ya Tawwab. Ya Tawwab is the one who removes a sin from your being like it never even happened. But we don't even give Allah the chance to show us that. We're so in our egoic mind, like, I have made a mistake, I am forgivable, I have done this, I have done whatever. And there the I is so much bigger than Allah's love. And so there is no amount of sin that can keep you revolving in this world and make you feel unworthy, because that's what Shaitan wants you to do, to focus on this spiral, on this loop of your mind, whereas Allah wants you to focus on your soul, on what it is that you have in your heart. Allah wants you to expand your light, and that's what we're going to do in this piece. We're going to expand our light. A spiral is actually, sin is not easy. Those who commit sin know that it's not something that is easy, not the doing of it and not the after effects, because the darkness kind of just leeches on itself to you. You see, Shaitan just makes you feel like once you've done the sin, boom, you're a bad person. That's not true. You are the Khalifa of Allah because you turn to Allah to ask for His help. And so this is the expanding of the heart. I'm not going to work on the sin part today. I'm going to work on the outside part and show you how I design my pieces. Now, personally, I don't go in with a pencil to create. Just checking the screen. Let me check the time also. Yeah. Okay. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. And so I'm going to work on this part for a few minutes with you guys and see what downloads I receive from the piece, and not work on the inside, because this inside is the representation of the ayat itself. This is the part which is representing the Quran and how Quran has an effect on our being. When we connect to Quran, we are actually connecting to truth. When we are connecting to truth, we are connected to light. You see, light is that what is within us, and that's what we're here to spread. So you see, everything that I will do now will have a certain meaning behind it. The inside light has to come out from us, and the only way it's ever going to come out from us is when we accept that we are light. We are not this body. We are not all that is visible. We are that what Allah created us as, which is light being inside. Oops. Well, that's interesting, isn't it? With my inside, I dropped ink. Now I asked myself, Allah Mia, what is this? I said, accept your faults, accept your mistakes, accept that when you go towards light, there will be things that will unfold and come to surface which you might not like or have planned. You will have to let go of people, you'll have to let go of jobs, you'll have to let go of things, because when light comes from inside, it's going to push out everything that you made a mistake or whatever. Now, the way I'm feeling it, it could be, now this is I don't know what will happen in future and how this piece unfolds, but what I'm guided to think about is I could actually be incorporating this thing that happened. That thing came out on its own. I didn't plan this. Later on, I might be able to like incorporate this or keep it as a separate identity to be reminded that don't let this hold you from creating this. Because this is, for example, something that I have to let go of attachment, the OCDs we develop. Oh, now it's gone kharab. Oh, this is wrong with me. Oh, I've lost so much money. Oh, I couldn't make the marriage work. Oh, something happened and now I had a fight with this person or I had an accident. Oh, don't hold this towards that. Keep creating with the understanding that what is meant to happen will happen because it is from Allah. And hold yourself safe. You see, this line is all about being safe. You are held. My jumper's sleeves are bothering me. They're too heavy for my hand. Again, that could be a sign of a message for myself and you that the path will not be easy, but how willing are you to shift? How willing are you to let the light do its job? How willing and accepting are you to keep flowing with what's happening? How willing are you to let light be the guide rather than trying to control the situation? Let light hold your heart and guide you towards that what you need to do, and let go of your control. And funnily, as I'm creating light, not funnily, nothing is a coincidence. As I'm speaking of light guiding you, coming out of you, I worked out the star. For that is where you come from, you see. You are the star. You are his light. You are his light that is held in ways that you're not able to see. See how you're not seeing these lines, right? So as I'm creating, I'm hearing, you are held in ways you have no idea. But when you connect to Quran opens your heart, expands it, reminds you of who you are, connects you to the reality of your being, connects you to your soul, shows you the path from the inside, so you're able to take the steps that will help you find clarity in this world, inshaAllah. You see, we are not capable of knowing the answers, for we don't know. They were not programmed in us. That's why we make mistakes, so that when we make a mistake, we are able to unlock that part of us which we didn't know. So by making the mistakes, we turn to Allah. we connect to Him. And then He helps us see that mistake as a way of returning to Him, to turn to Him. And through that mistake, we're able to gain clarity for that what we didn't know earlier. So the sin or the mistake or the fault or whatever loss that you had in your life was something that He had to make you experience, so you were able to see your value in front of Allah. And how do you know that Allah is valuing you? Because when He gives you the pain, you turn to Him. That guilt that you carry based on the mistakes or the faults that you've committed, that guilt is the gift of Allah, because it is the guilt that makes you turn to Allah. And when you turn to Allah, you realize, oh my God, no one and nothing can heal me, because you see, you were created by Him or her, whatever it is that you choose to say to Allah. That's your connection with him, her. Sorry. And so let Him show you how loving He is, how He is Rahman and Rahim. All you have to do is keep trusting Him, keep remembering Him, and keep reminding yourself over and over again, I will make mistakes. That is part of my being a human. If you were an angel, that is when you would not make a mistake. But if you are making a mistake and you're connecting to your Allah through that mistake, you, my friend, have just won Allah's love. You've become one step closer towards your Allah, because you recognize that only and only He who has created me gave me an experience which will help me come closer to Him, because He knew I couldn't have come closer to Him, or I was drifting away from Him. And so through that sin, He gave you a guilt that you hold within you, and towards your healing, He will help you get stronger. He will send you the healer that your heart will feel connected to, and you'll be able to find your way back to Him, inshaAllah ta'ala. Inshallah, you will find your way back to Him. For that thing that happened, the catastrophe, the way that you feel, only happened so that you could be gifted with His company in isolation with Him. For when you ask for forgiveness from your Allah, that is when He comes closer to you. And basically, He's always close to you. You come closer to Him. So through that sin, He helps you. Through that loss, through whatever you failed, He reminds you that you are capable of failing. You weren't meant to always not fail. You were meant to fail. That is part of being a human. And as you choose to grow, now the next layer speaks about growth, based on not what the world, the dunya is outside here, based on what you're feeling inside yourself, that okay, Allah gave me a certain experience so that I could rise in myself to serve Him, to please Him, because I got distracted, I got attached to something else, and I lost my path, I failed. But Allah made me feel that I am at loss. The reason is that He's showing me, number one, who He is. He is never lost. But humans are always lost, right? And then, are you lost when Allah is guiding you? No, you're not, because you've connected to your heart. So by turning to Him, you not only recognize Him, you also recognize who? Yourself. You recognize that you are able to get lost, but He's not. And so this is growth. Now, growth for me is always a symbol of nature. And so I'm going to draw a leaf. Representing growth. Because when your growth happens, based on that what you feel, it is guided by the inside. It is guided by your heart. And so you don't question it when you're not working with that what you have. You say, okay, hang on, growth is happening, but this might not grow and this would. That's what your heart says to you, and that's okay. Not every part of you will grow exactly at the same time. It has to be done in ways that Allah will be happy with your growth. You see, because He's your priority. You can't change yourself like in a day. You have to give yourself some time. You have to connect to your own self. You have to be forgiving towards yourself, your conditions. You have to be in acceptance of who you are. You're a human being. You're filled with flaws. You came here to learn through your flaws, through your losses. But you're not here to sit in your losses. You see, you're not meant to go in spiral. When you go down in spiral, it will keep going in spiral till you connect to your heart. The moment you connect to your heart, the light within you unblocks. What is the light within you? Guidance. Your soul. Your soul was given to you as a gift so that you could be guided towards Allah. And that is something that we all have, alhamdulillah, in us. Now notice how they're all coming out straight. What that means is it's representing Sirat al-Mustaqim. You will go straight towards light when you are guided by light. And where is light? In your heart. What will you spread through your actions? What will you gain in your life when you are guided by your heart? You will spread that what you are gaining in your heart, right? So if you're connecting to Allah through your heart, what are you going to be sharing? Your light. Is it really your light or the light of your Creator? What does the light of your Creator do? Heal or distress people? Guide or make them feel lost? These are just question prompts that you can journal if you feel connected to them. Is perfection that what is going to let you be free? Or is the process that's going to teach you about yourself? Is winning about having everything? Or is winning about having everything that He chooses for you to have? Is winning about having everything or recognizing that whatever He is giving is that what is best for you in this moment? When light comes into our world, that what is dark has to leave, because you become the true slave of your Allah. And when you become the slave of your Allah, everything that is from the world that keeps you attached to the world will be removed by light, meaning your soul, meaning your Allah. You know, I have a feeling in the same surah which I recited in the session before this, you can go check it out, just the video before this one. In that surah, I think it's the surah 13th, in that he mentions about changing the state of the believer or of nations will only happen when you change the inside. What is inside? Inside is your ruh. When you start valuing the ruh that he has given you and connect to it, and you change the way you've been treating your ruh, meaning your heart, it is then when you value your whole self, it is then that he will give you the change. He will change everything because you've changed from the inside. You're valuing your light. You see, the light is never yours to value. Your ruh is valued by your Allah. So you can choose to not value it, which most of us do. But that doesn't mean Allah doesn't value you. And for you to learn how to value your ruh is when you start committing your sin. Because the sin actually doesn't taint your mind. Mind just keeps going in loops, connected and attached to the sin. Allah says, don't attach yourself to the sin. Attach yourself to the repentance of that sin. I hope there was a message for you today when you connected to this video, and I hope you feel closer to your Allah. And if that's something that you want to do through art with me, you can join me for my sessions. I've shared all the details down below, how you can get in touch with me. If you enjoyed it, if you feel like there was something that could help somebody else, then your liking, sharing and subscribing to my channel is an energy exchange. It's the way I'm choosing and hoping with the intention to share Allah's light with other people, to bring more peace into this world. So if that's something that resonates with you and you feel like you can share it with your friends, family and other members of whoever you know in your community, please do so, to help me spread Allah's love and light and peace into people's hearts. I'm sending you lots of love, light and peace again. Take good care of yourselves and I'll speak to you soon, inshallah. Allah Hafiz for now.